Kazuya, maybe the Wario, maybe the Wolf, maybe the Roy, maybe the ZSS, maybe the maybe the Charizard, maybe the Fox. We might see the Snonky Kong. Who knows? We might see the Ditto. Would it be Snonky Snong? Snonky Snong. That sounds like something Chris would say. The Sninosaur. That's my favorite, I think, of the of the various Snickeldorf character names. Anyway, game 1. Oh god, no cap. Game 1. We got Snickeldorf versus Konga, the DK. And now Snickeldorf going immediately in with this kind of, you know, hey, I'm just going to hold center, I'm going to hold neutral, giving it up for free. I'm going to take it, and Game & Watch is just so good at doing that in a non-committal way. These back airs are already going to be applying pressure to the shield, and I actually like the way that Snickeldorf is playing against Konga's shield. Now, he did kind of lose stage control for a second because of it, but it is still scary, and it's a good way to test the waters, I think, just kind of running through your opponent's shield with these multi-hits, knowing, hey, you're not actually going to punish me for anything that in a way that matters. So I'm just going to do it. And now holding center is Snickeldorf. That spot dodge through the F smash. Now kind of starting his advantage stay. Snickeldorf looking clean, looking strong. Oh, wow. That was a down air. That fair going to be saving Snickeldorf's life. Konga trying to land with that patented side beat. It's not quite going to work. And Snickeldorf going a bit of a Meister mode there. I honestly kind of like it. It's Snickeldorf, and we all know what he wants to do. He wants to get Konga above him and up air, up air, up air, up air, up air. But Konga knows that too. Konga's most certainly no stranger to Game & Watch. Might be one of the most experienced people against Game & Watch in the world, and I actually mean that. Up B. Be racking on that percent, so are these back airs. And now this is actually interesting because matchup-wise, this is pretty similar to the Steve matchup in some ways. And by that I mean Donkey Kong. When he gets his chance, when he gets his spacing to play in this range where he can just use his limbs as a sword, it is just so hard for Game & Watch to really deal with that. To the point where, man, Chris barely did any percent and died. Chris, though, or Snickeldorf rather, finding his openings, finds that jab lock conversion. I actually really like that. This fair on the platform just so deadly, doing that instant percent, instant explosion. Now we're chefing at ledge, catches the jump, and pushes his advantage as far as he can possibly go. He just got neutral beat and died at 40. Wow. That was such a Snickeldorf way to end game 1. Now he's thinking about the stages. You know, he debated for a second running it back, but I don't know if that's necessarily the answer. He's going to be going town and city, and I can kind of see that. You don't want to die off the top. You kind of want to go off the side. For sure. I mean, the way that Snickeldorf was securing his kills was through those back airs, mostly back airs. So I like that. I like going to town here. Konga more than comfortable though, playing the stage. That up B out of shield, that new stuff, that Gimmer stuff. I like it. I like seeing when people apply new tech, especially when it's so useful, such as Donkey Kong up B out of shield. Truly, unironically, insanely useful and a crazy innovation for Donkey Kong, now granting him an actual good, viable out of shield option. It just makes landing on Donkey Kong that much scarier. Snickeldorf, I mean, this is kind of how the first game went, with Snickeldorf just doing so well at applying all of this pressure. Konga though sneaking, finding his way through. Gonna be spending. Oh wow, are you dead? Okay, spending the neutral bead to try to make himself safe and gets an advantage state out of it, but now all of a sudden, Snickeldorf doesn't have that much to be scared of in terms of kill power. All these jabs, not quite gonna take it, I don't believe, but doing so much percent, going over and over and over to the point where it almost did kill, going all the way to 200%. Is Snickeldorf and gonna be killing with that up air nair conversion? I've never seen that before. Good stuff on Snickeldorf, knowing how to kill off of that interaction. That was so necessary. Donkey Kong with rage. When Game & Watch is at 70, it's nothing to scoff at. He's up air, is just sticking to the classic Game & Watch game plan. Just keeping the heavy in the air, juggling them as much as possible. But the issue is, when the tables are turned, can you land yourself, really? Resetting the neutral here. Don't want to overcommit. And a slight call out means 45%. The Nair is just trying to take as much space as possible. Same with these fairs. Same with this bacon. I mean, that's all we're really seeing from Snickeldorf. It's just staying out of Donkey Kong's immediate threat bubble. You cannot hit me unless you approach me. But, of course, you can't approach unless you want to run into these hitboxes. Konga, though, saying the same thing. Saying, hey, let me land or I'm going to punch you in the face. Back air, applying some good shield pressure. Finds the down B1. Can't quite get down B2. Reads the air dodge. Doesn't quite get the punish. Konga just barely off on his advantage state means that the lead now is going to Snickeldorf. But these leads are so fragile, as we saw in the last game, in the last stock even. And Donkey Kong has that giant punch. Spends it. Okay, now Snickeldorf kind of has a bit more of a chance, because now it means Konga actually has to really find that space in order to truly be able to charge up, and in trying to create that space, Konga takes 50–60%. Snickeldorf just being as annoying as possible in the best way possible, trying to make sure, hey, I don't want you to get your win condition. I'm going to spam this so that you cannot ever have the chance to breathe. Down smash, gonna be scooping Donkey Kong up out of the air, but he lands right back on stage. Doesn't quite get the jump call out. Goes for the dare. Tries to go for the surprise stage spike. Up B's out of the way of that down B. Konga trying to make some space for himself. Tries to call out the air dodge with that up smash. Not quite working. And smells blood in the water, but it might have been food coloring that one time. Snickeldorf finding that back air. Gonna be setting us to a game 3, and this would be interesting. He thought it was blood, but alas, it was hemoglobin. Y'all know about hemoglobin? Do y'all like hemoglobin? I kind of do. Is that weird? I'm chill with hemoglobin, me personally. Game 3. Going to be going to the stage. I forgot what it's called, but the Sora one. And the dynamic here is interesting because, yeah, you kind of do have those side blast zones. The blast zones are a little bit smaller on the side than your, say, than like Battlefield. I believe. I could be wrong. But so is the ceiling, and that's really the scary part. Plus that middle platform, I mean, it's good for both players, really. Snickeldorf going to be using that a lot in order to not let Konga land and to land himself, but at the same time, so is Konga. Going to be using that to kill, going to be using that to juggle, sometimes using that to land. And this juggling, like I'm talking about, just erasing Snickeldorf's stock so fast. 50 seconds into the game, you already have a lead and some percent. And still counting. Goes for the F tilt instead of the down tilt. And Snickeldorf has been so aware and so good at shielding all of these giant punches, but it's just so scary to be in that position nonetheless. Finds the Nair, doesn't quite kill. DPI on Konga's part. And Konga, I'm noticing, is going for a lot of these hard reads, and I feel like I understand from the perspective of Konga. That being said, it's kind of costing him some advantage state sometimes, and I mean, last game, it cost him the game. He's up a stock, though, knows he can just kind of bait, play the sortie game as much as he can. But down tilt gonna be swatting Game & Watch away. Game & Watch, the pesky little mosquito he is. Konga just barely misplacing that back air. Snickeldorf just really cannot find a way in. He knows what he's supposed to be doing, but just can't find a way to get his pressure started. Konga just way too patient throughout all of this pressure, all of these projectiles, all of these bombs, all of these up airs, all of these hitboxes. He stays patient. Snickeldorf, though, trying to even it up, or at least bring the lead a little bit closer. It's doable, but you need to find that first stock, especially versus a Donkey Kong with this much rage. Gets the untechable down air. There's not much you can do about that as Konga. Good stuff on Snickeldorf for recognizing it. These retreat back air, or down Bs rather, just doing so much mileage. That might be game. Oh no, misses the up air. And Snickeldorf, what do you do here? Gets the down throw, gets the nair, that's nair 1. Can only really get nair 1. Trades with the side B, avoiding getting spiked, and now it's gonna be a tech chase. Snickeldorf catching it with the dash attack, looking Fox-esque. Oh, but letting him land. Oh, and retreating back to ledge in order to try to sneak out a kill. Doesn't quite get it. Konga holding down on that up B to maximize the damage and the knockback. Snickeldorf, though, back on stage and doing a good job of not falling for Konga's tricks. It's just staying safe, but gets caught in the vortex, unfortunately. And it's just so hard, that up B getting out of the way, that invincibility, doing him huge favors right now in the double grab, calling out the call out to the roll. Snickeldorf looking for this back air, can't quite get it. Looks for the F tilt, can't quite get it. Gets the up B. The down air, not quite taking it. Donkey Kong a little bit too heavy, another one. Will take it, and now Snickeldorf has that last chance. Primes the 9. There are now slightly higher odds. Oh my god, goes for it, that's a 4. I do like that last ditch effort on the part of Snickeldorf. For a second, I thought that 4 was a 9. And it would have been crazy. Okay, I think now we're doing winners finals, at least I would think. Like, probably. We got the other side of losers. Quarters happening right now. It's Zeb versus Rin. That's going to be off stream. Zeb, the aforementioned Mexican sortie player. Rin, the Washingtonian, if I'm correct on that. Gonna be maining a Link, so gonna be having a sortie, getting 4th or up, either way. Okay, yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy stuff in the works, crazy stuff coming soon. Alright, now I'm curious, are we throwing it to Embo?